Zachary Kojo. Shift to communication. Now that we create the internet, we are able to communicate with anyone, anywhere in the world, almost at any given moment. As we can talk from someone from the USA to Bangladesh, someone from the Bangladesh to Ukraine, someone with Ukraine and China, and everyone can be talking at the same time within a given with the messages arriving in a given span of seconds to have an to actually have dialogue about really anything in the world. Messages, internet messages have been simplified to expressions with emoticons and images and quick texts with slangs and acronyms. Ma- and with the mask of anonymity, generally across the internet, giving people more of an incentive to speak their minds. As more and more people are not prone to give out their personal information, however, they are prone to give out their personal ideas about what certain situations to throw their hat in the ring. A much faster temporal shift of what is deemed acceptable or trending in the given online space compared to the real world, as things that are seen as okay in in online spaces or simply not okay in real life, but in the online space, it will that that thing will become a trend and it will come and go much faster than what it trends in real life. For example, something like a cinnamon challenge, where people would down would down powders of cinnamon into their throat, which will burn it and cause severe pain. This was okay. Then people thought it was not okay, and then people would start doing it again with the dry scoop challenge, where they do the same thing with pre-workouts. It's a crazy world. Pros: allows for more expression of ideas and opinions. People are able to speak more freely about what they're doing, about what they're saying, and how they can say it, because given their internet is generally as it what I used to be, it's the Wild West as anything can go. If you and as of now, if you say anything on the internet, you are prone and susceptible to being judged and criticized, and that is actually one of the fair games about the internet, as anybody anywhere can express their expression. There's community for every facet of interest, thus inspiring self-esteem. Because now that you find somebody with a similar interest, you'll feel more confident in yourself because you realize that you're not exactly alone in the world in this niche hobby. You're able to learn new languages and schemas to better empathize because not because not only will you learn not only will you learn languages in the internet colloquially, you'll also be able to learn languages outside of the internet as you be able to follow more ideas and trends that different cultures has output that you can research on your own. Textual messages allow for speedy and efficient communication. That one is true. Cons: more visual emotions because with the face of anonymity, you're able to say a lot more heinous and unacceptable things that you can get that you can just simply get away with due to nobody really knowing exactly who you are, so you won't exactly get judged in the real life because will be able to put two and two together. Anonymity allows people to get away with more unacceptable behavior. Not only has said that, also because not when it comes to online dating, are able to create much more dating accounts specifically made towards cheating on their significant others due to you yourself being able to do secretly given some certain websites, and it'll be all under everyone's noses. People may have so many relational partnerships that they get jaded in what count as a friend, as people will call them mutuals day, as they spend time talking with them days in and days out, but won't exactly find somebody they will call a friend. And it is harder to decipher messages with a lack of nonverbal communication, as you won't be able to see eye contact, you hear the voice tones, you won't see the body movement, so you're going to have to just take their word for it and play a guessing game of whether to take it seriously or not. What I use? Discord, Instagram, and YouTube. Why? Because I'm able to keep in touch with my college friends. I can set up and be a part of separate group chats to talk about similar hobbies, with my case being video games and working out. And I can be able to check on the conditions of my friends as well as my gaming club that I used to be a club president of. It's really nice and fun. It's also great to keep a record online of my fitness and gaming achievements without needing to store it on my computer. And I'm thinking, hey, why not? Why not also use my academical achievements as well, so I can see how far I progress in certain things aspects of life. Benefits of the three platforms I use: Discord, an easier time finding people with similar hobbies to get together and enjoy each other's company. Instagram, a way to share with people the highlights of your life as well as for a snippet of your current condition throughout the years. YouTube, a place for an expression of opinion and hobbies to give tutorials or information on certain topics, give people both a medium for education and entertainment. Purpose of being face to face: you get to see, hear, feel something that you cannot be replicated just through a digital screen. Because you, because you, because once you're face to face with somebody, it's like actually being real, because you're not because it's not something that you can just simply click out of. It's something that you're in the present, looking right at it, and they're looking right at you, and and there's so many things you can do in real life, such as go bowling, go go airsoft games, and these activities cannot be replicated. Can As I said, cannot be replicated through a digital screen. You give more of an expression of your true self as you have a person that can reciprocate your thoughts in any given way, as you have to be more careful of what you say because you can't simply because you you may not exactly know how the other person will react, but but also you can it can lead to even more much bigger reward. You provide more of an understanding of the person you're communicating with as you learn more about their nonverbal cues as well, because you get to see exactly how they present themselves, how they talk, what how they move, and all these things you can just ooze with their character, and that should give you a more better understanding of who they are. And it cannot be none of this can ever be replaced by anything in the world. Digital distraught. The problem with online communication is that it's too easy. It doesn't take as much commitment as a real life relationship would, because you can simply block or ignore somebody that you don't like rather than having to deal with somebody. And if somebody you do like, you just have them in a friend list that's just like a kind of like a little box that that you can just poke in any once in a while if you want to talk to them, rather than simply being right there with them. Of course, that's a bit of hyperbole, but what I'm trying to get at is you're not exactly there. You're just with them. Well, you're not exactly with them. You're just there. The echo chambers, being able being echo chambers because being able to find people with the same hobby as you. You also find some people with the same opinions as you, and then each and all of you guys will not take kindly to people challenging your worldview, and will consider yourselves the smart ones because you'll be able to kick out anybody that disagrees with you, and that is not healthy. The spotlight effect maximized by social media, whereas everybody believes that what they're doing is going to be vastly more on everyone's mind than what actually is happening. And this has led to people to believe that they have to make some picture perfect character about who they are and how they're supposed to present themselves on the line, and that is simply not true and unobtainable. Condonement and appreciation of immoral behavior, because in some spaces, some people will want you to be able to. In some spaces, some people will want you to do something terrible. Let's say let's say a hate group, and this, and as I said, with echo chambers comes less challenges to worldviews, and this can lead to more problems down the road. The instant gratification can lead to an unhealthy attachment to social media, as when you get as you keep getting those numbers going up, you get that dopamine rush. You want to do it again and again and again, to the point that you're not exactly you're getting an unhealthy obsession with the website itself, as you start focusing more on how people perceive you rather than how you perceive yourself. And the loneliness epidemic is exactly real, as people are not going outside more often and rather decide to spend their time going going online just to talk to people with similar interests because as I said before in my previous videos that it's scarier talking to people you don't know than it is to talk to somebody that you might be able to control exactly how you talk to, and that is a shame. Thank you so much for watching and hope you have a wonderful semester. Sorry this is twice the minutes of what it's supposed to be, but I do have a lot to talk about this. And I tried, and the last one was even longer, so I try to cut this down. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye.